All right, here we are. We're talking about verticals, and we're with Gianna Angela, who has just finished her first vertical. And Gianna, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the vertical?
So I've been film acting for about like 7 years now, which is insane to say because I started with Dom when I was about 15 years old. Is that 7 years? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 8 years.
So tell me about like the first time you heard about microdramas or verticals and what made you so interested in pursuing them. And I know you started bugging me to make one about a year ago. And, they're still fairly new now, but a year ago it was definitely new. Tell me about that journey.
Yes. So the first time I saw a vertical was on TikTok, and I was very interested because it's not like your regular TikTok video that you're watching, and it's not your regular like episode on TV like that you watch for fun. So I was really just intrigued by the name, the type of actor, the stereotypes that it held, and just the weight that it held in TikTok in general. Yeah, about a year ago was the first time that I had saw it, and I was like, "We have to do this. Like, this is gonna be something that people are going to watch from all over," and, well, it is. I'm not right a lot, but I was right about this one, and I'm currently have been have only been in one vertical, but I am so excited to be making more. I feel like it is such an easy way to make art. I feel like everybody's scrolling on TikTok and wanting to watch something that's like quick and easy in between like a lunch break, or whether you're at lunch waiting for someone, like everyone is just on their phone. And the vertical is the best thing to watch because it still holds your attention in some way, but it's quick and easy. So
Mm.
I'm a huge lover of verticals.
Well, technically, you've only been in one, but you maybe might have been in two because we did finish a feature film. And there's a lot of talk about that becoming a vertical because it actually, and I did a little mock cut of it,
Mm,
and we're realizing that, I know verticals, and we can get into a different episode, have a much different structure. The scripts aren't the
yeah.
same, and we'll get into that at a different time. But unknowingly, when we made this, we didn't realize it's a better vertical than a
Yeah,
feature.
it's definitely, in my opinion, I feel like it has the perfect vibe of verticals. It's
Hmm.
great.
Oddly, several of the actors that we cast in it have gone on, when one of them in particular, to a vertical fame, if you will. You
Yeah.
know,
No, it's actually crazy you say that because when we were looking at the starting a vertical and you said, "Oh, we should make it into a vertical," I was like, "Wait, yeah." Like that's a great idea. And once I saw a little bit of the mock-up, I was like, this is way I couldn't see it any other way. Like once I saw it in that vertical platform, I was like, this cannot be put out in any other way.
I agree.
Crossing my fingers on that one.
And before we started hitting record in this podcast, we were just talking about we're going next month film our second official uh, vertical, but we're going to be playing around with a different genre. So instead of
Yeah.
the typical microdrama, kiss slap the fanger
Yeah.
type series, we're doing something completely different. I don't know if we really want to talk about that too much, but how exciting is that to do another one, but something completely different than what we just did?
Yeah, definitely, because I feel like there's only so much that you can do with the formulaic, like, way that the verticals are going right now, and the fact that we're kinda gonna branch out and, like, start something new is something that we can play with is gonna be really fun and exciting.
So, all right, why don't you give me a little bit of, if any, what it was like being on set for one of these verticals versus, I know you've been in multiple feature films in a TV series, 6 episode TV series, limited series, but being in your first vertical and microdrama, whatever you want to call it, was that experience different? Was it the same?
There's definitely a big difference because vertical is so new to the world that people are trying to, like, understand and kinda make, like, ground rules in a way. I felt like I had a little bit more of an artistic freedom to do what I wanted to. This was just a different experience with, like, again, playing with new things and kind of learning on the fly of like how to kind of incorporate a little bit more theatrics than you usually do, which of course my background is in theater. So it was really cool to be able to kind of merge those two together.
That was actually my follow-up question was, do you feel, because I know you have extensive theater experience, did you feel that the first time on film or digital, whatever, but when you were filming this, did you feel like, oh wow, some of my theater training is actually coming in handy for this? Because a follow-up to that would be, were you ever in a scene where you thought, oh wow, I'm nailing this, I'm doing good, and the director was like, no, more over the top, or how was
Yeah,
that?
I remember even when we were looking at the dailies, it was like, "Do more, do more, do more, do more," and I was like, "Okay." So I kind of like every time I step on a set, I kind of like have to like take a deep breath and kind of like put away that theater brain in my head, just like the movement of it when I'm on set. So the fact that I could like take that back out when I was on set for The Vertical was really kind of, I don't want to say difficult to like find a middle ground, but it kind of was because I was trying to not like be super theatrical, but also like hold in my like real and artistic film acting
Mhm.
along with like being super big and theatrical. So I feel like in a way it helped like with my projection and the way that I was moving my body and a lot of the slapping. But in a way it was kind of difficult to still hold in a lot of the things that I know that I'm good for film, like the way my eyes move and the way my certain looks that I give because I'm always the mean girl. So it was kind of hard to keep both of those things and marry them together.
And do you think, because I know some actors, in fact, I know several that have used a different name when they're acting in microdramas or verticals. Do you find that maybe how you feel personally, but even beyond that, with your friends or people that know you're an actress, does anybody kind of look down upon this as an actor, or do they think it's amazing? And how does that make you feel like personally? Do you feel like you're stepping down, or do you feel like this is maybe a parallel path of a new form of entertainment?
Wow, that's really funny you say that because I did not know that people are changing their names for this type of work. But I think that that is stupid, quite frankly. I think it's an art form in its own. Like, I have people who are, you can look at my Instagram, you can look at my TikTok, people are commenting, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see this vertical. Oh my gosh, like, this is awesome. Like, is it in a funny way? Yes, it is. And maybe at the root of it all, it could be someone making fun of me. But at the end of the day, I'm still making art and I'm still having fun with what I'm doing. And that's why I do what I do. So I don't really think that I would ever look down upon someone who is a vertical actor.
I think it's more so becoming acceptable. And I, of course, have a
Yeah.
lot of filmmaking friends, and a lot of them have given me a hard time about
Wow.
transferring into the space, almost like either, they think it's a sellout because they know that's what's exploding right now, or they just think, how can you do it? There's no art to it, which is wrong. The first time I went on a vertical set, I was blown away. I wasn't expecting this. The one thing that I wasn't expecting that made me so happy was the first time the DP set up the monitor and it was vertical. And I just wasn't used to that. And I instantly saw a whole new world of possibilities with framing. And that excited me so much, where I was like, this is amazing. I
Yeah.
now have discovered a different form of the art that I love that I can now play with and create in the difference. You can play around with different lighting. And then of course, one thing that I loved was on set. I know some people are filming verticals horizontal and then cropping later, so they have both, but we did ours all vertical. And one of the things that I loved about it is it was like cut the setup time in less than half. And it was so quick. And, when people say, oh my God, they're filming 15, 20 pages a day, it's a lot easier to film these. So and I don't want to take that away from the people that are doing this, because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of thought and planning go into it. But it is like, when we did the party scene, we only need like two extras behind the main actors, and
Yeah.
it filled in the party. There's so a lot of it was just like enjoyable. The best analogy I think I've heard so far is, when I tell my filmmaker friends that don't really get it or understand verticals yet, is back, when you had books and you had a novel, right? Novels were amazing. They're the classic way of storytelling and reading, and nobody would ever take that away. And nobody's going to compete with that, or it would never go away. And then comic books came along. And comic books were never meant to replace novels. It was like a different
Yeah.
path of entertainment that went parallel with it. And not only did it not steal anybody from the novel audience, it created a whole new category and a new audience.
Yeah.
And that's what I look at verticals like,
That's
something
great.
that is a brand new path of entertainment, and I don't think it's going anywhere. I was talking with somebody yesterday about this. We think that verticals get confused with microdramas as if it's one and the same, and it's not. Verticals is how you watch it. Microdrama happens to be the genre
Yeah.
that took off in the vertical format. I I don't think microdramas are going in anywhere soon, but I do think more genres are going to like explode in this industry, in this space, and maybe different ways of storytelling. Maybe the 1 to 3 minute episodes won't be forever. Maybe it'll be something different. We're not sure yet. But that's kind of also what's exciting is it's new and we're all
Exactly.
figuring it out together. Nobody knows.
And it's like you're already on TikTok. You're already on your phone 24/7. Because like that, as I was talking about before, that's how I got introduced to it was through TikTok. I was
Hmm.
just scrolling. Everyone's just scrolling, and you see that, and you're like, "Wait, what is this?" That's how everyone got into it. No one knew what it was.
Hmm.
We just kept watching, and now we can't stop.
And I know your vertical is not out yet, but it must be exciting as an actor to have something come out and just kind of like almost text a link to your friends and know they can watch it on their phone immediately.
Exactly. It's
Not
not.
like, oh, Gianna's movie's out. Well, we're gonna watch it tonight, make
Yeah.
popcorn and sit down. Like, no, they can just start watching it immediately.
Exactly, and it's like I can watch other people doing the same thing because it's formulaic. A lot of the characters are the same in ways. Of course,
Hmm.
there's multiple ways to do things. I don't wanna, like, take anything away from anyone, but it's all formulaic, all of the scripts. So, it's nice to see other people play the types of roles that I would be cast in, and I can learn from them. I'm very excited for the future of verticals, obviously. I've been very excited for a whole year.
I know you're graduating college this year. So what is your plans after college? I know you're very active with theater and you have a big world ahead of you, but how much of the vertical space do you think you'll pursue when you graduate?
Funny you say that, actually, I just submitted for 3 verticals today. And I feel like I've been just, like, kind of vetting my like, casting connections, backstage, all that kinda stuff, and everything that I look on has at least 10 verticals on it. It's crazy. Like, they're casting for verticals every 5 seconds. My
Hmm.
TikTok For You pages, "Get ready with me to start with my vertical, my first day of filming." I'm like, "This is awesome." So, obviously, I want to include verticals with as much as I possibly can. I feel like it's great. It's so fun to travel and they're all over the place. Like it's easy, it's accessible. It's maybe 10 days at most. I love stuff like that. I love meeting new people, obviously. And I feel like it has a lot of good niche types of characters that would work really well for my typecast. So I'm very excited.
I'm excited for you too. I know what type of characters you're good at, and it seems like you were made to be in these. So, I think it's exciting too because it's like old Hollywood in the sense of, you once you start to do one or two or three of these, you
Yeah.
become known pretty quick in this space. So we are doing Vertical Festival in October.
Yeah.
And that is, I was watching some of the entries today, and I don't know if I can say the name, but one of the entries was one of the conventions they did, a documentary that somebody made. And just, it was the first one I watched today and absolutely enjoyed it because it really just showed not just kind of like the excitement behind verticals and the future of it, but the fans. And it was all about the
Yeah.
fans and just how loyal and dedicated these fans are. But how, of course, right now, the demo's a lot of women, but seeing like these mother-daughter combos, attending this convention together
Aw.
and just seeing the reaction when these actors walked out to these panels and as if like what I would normally think of Tom Cruise walking out and seeing
Yeah.
fans go wild. Here are these virtual newcomers to the industry of the acting, or maybe they've been acting for a while and just haven't had their break.
Yeah.
And now they're entered this microdrama vertical space and they have a massive fan base.
Good for
I,
them.
I just I love it for them and I love that the fans have embraced this so much. It's really made it a lot of fun. My experience when we shot the last vertical, it was just fun. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever had that much fun on a set before. Literally every minute was just people were having a good time. Nobody yelled. Nobody.
The only yelling was coming from me when I was telling people to be
True.
quiet.
And I don't want to give away any spoilers, but you may or may not have slapped somebody and they fell in a pool. So you definitely got to
You'd have
watch
to
that.
watch to know.
Awesome. Well, that was our pseudo first episode of Verticulture podcast. And We were supposed to be joined by our guest, but something came up. He's a very busy casting director in LA, and I'm sure he's got a great excuse for not joining in today, but it was great to catch up with Gianna, who is currently on her world tour, spring break vacation madness, right?
Yeah, I'm on my way to New York City tomorrow to do some auditions. So
Nice.
doing a little stop right now.
Fantastic. All right. So it was amazing catching up with you, Gianna. Looking forward to you joining and co-hosting in some of these for future episodes. And as we get ourselves to learn more about verticals and have some amazing guests coming up. So thank you very much for filling in for our missing guest tonight.
Thanks, guys, and make sure to watch our vertical that's coming out soon.
And how can people follow your journey?
Follow me on Instagram at Gianna Angela Official, link right here, and TikTok at Gianna Angela Official.